Hello and welcome to episode 15 of The Weekly Wash. Today I've got another 3 recommendations to improve your thinking and entertain you. Let's jump in. First recommendation today is a book, and that book is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. As per Morgan's website, he's a partner at the Collaborative Fund and a former columnist at the Motley Fool and the Wall Street Journal. He's also won a bunch of awards for finance and business writing. The Psychology of Money is a composition of Morgan's advice for how we should think more effectively about money. Most of us like to think that we've got a decent grip on our finances, regardless of our opinion about money and the role that it plays in society. There are also many experts that are overly eager to give us specific and very definitive advice about how to look after our coins. Morgan, albeit having written a book about money himself, argues that it's actually silly to be so certain of our opinion of the financial system, mentioning that here we are with between 20 and 50 years of experience in the modern financial system, hoping to be perfectly acclimated. Put that way, it reveals our naivety to us. There are many options available to us when deciding how we will live our lives in relation to money. We can spend, we can save, we can lend, we can even burrow ourselves into caverns of debt if we so wish. But Morgan suggests that we will do whichever option we choose ineffectively if we don't spend some time correcting the flaws in our thinking about finances. Unfortunately, as a species, we're just not able to look at and think about money clearly. We're blinded by our greed, we're blinded by a poor ability to forecast, and also by an over-reliance on history for modelling what will happen in the future. History doesn't repeat itself as often as it's suggested. Morgan Housel's book covers numerous aspects of money psychology, including how we should think about sufficiency, the role that risk plays, the role that luck plays, and also the importance of a margin of error. So The Psychology of Money is one of my favourite books of 2020. And I've never been particularly apt at managing my own finances. In fact, if I had to describe my relationship with money in one word, that word would have to be dysfunctional. Luckily, I'm gradually starting to turn that around and think and act a bit better when money is involved. Reading this book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, has given me a little bit more clarity about money and what to do with it when you start to just not be in debt anymore. And hopefully with the stuff that I've learned, I think I will be more likely to in the future lead a happier and more comfortable life. My second recommendation for today is for a yoga channel on YouTube. So having already had my yoga practice invigorated by following the YouTube channel Yoga with Adrienne, I've now discovered, or at least my girlfriend has, another great yoga channel. With a brief bit of research, I've discovered that there are 2 general categories of yoga: yin and yang. Yang yoga consists of the yoga that most of us in the West are used to, including vinyasa yoga, power yoga, and ashtanga yoga. Yang yoga is generally more flowy and movement based, and according to the website Mind Body Green, yang yoga also tends more to focus on musculature. Yin yoga, on the other hand, targets your deep connective tissues like your fascia, ligaments, joints, and bones. Yin yoga is a little bit slower, with a focus on holding poses for longer and feeling smaller movements with a greater emphasis. And for me, yin yoga is just a little bit more suitable because I work a really physical job like many days of the week, and often I'm already achy from that. I'm trying to bring into my life a more consistent workout schedule as well. So with those 2 things added together, yang yoga and something like vinyasa, flowy moving yoga, it's just a bit too much. I think I would be overworking my body and probably would take away some of the beneficial elements of doing yoga. So with that being said, that's why I'm so delighted to have come across the YouTube channel Yoga with Kassandra, which is a yoga channel, obviously, that generally focuses on yin yoga. So far I've found Kassandra to be a really articulate teacher, and she explains and demonstrates the poses in a way that make them really easy to replicate. And I don't know whether it's because she has a ridiculously deep knowledge of yin yoga, or whether she's actually being innovative and coming up with her own poses. But so far in doing her practice, I've discovered so many new poses, so many new yoga poses that are sort of picking various locks of problems that I've had in my body and aches and dull pains and stuff that have been there for a while, that now I'm finally starting to find a way to release some of the tension from those areas. Time-wise, you've got shorter videos at about 10 minutes and then all the way up until like 90 minutes, which I don't think you'll catch me doing, but there's something for whatever mood you're in. And at the moment, it seems like Kassandra is posting around 3 times a week. So there's just this constant flow of novel practices for you to get stuck into. Anyway, you can find Yoga with Kassandra by just searching on YouTube. It's a great way to begin your yoga journey, but also to deepen an already existing practice. Finally today, I want to talk about a Netflix series, and it's possibly a different type of program than what you're usually used to watching. Aunty Donna's Big Old House of Fun is an absurd comedy series that makes no sense whatsoever, and yet is still somehow one of my favourite things that I've watched this year. So Aunty Donna is a comedy trio made up of Mark Bonanno, Zachary Ruane and Broden Kelly, who have achieved something of a cultish fan base for their bizarre comedy sketches and their off-kilter humour. Before Netflix, the majority of their work has actually been hosted on YouTube, so if you wanted to have a little preview before you check the series out, you can. There's plenty of short comedy sketches there. In terms of the series itself, it is 20 minutes per episode, I think, and then there are about 6 episodes in the one season that they have, which is far too few because I just want more. It's funny, when I wrote this script, I really wanted to try and give you a taste of what the series is about, but I just can't. It's mental. There is a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, and especially an abundance of perfect comedic timing. Of course, with anything surreal, there are some moments when a really weird joke will occasionally miss, but I can promise you there's at least one piece of brilliance every single episode. I really loved Aunty Donna's Big Old House of Fun, even though the title is a mouthful. I don't find comedy series make me laugh a lot nowadays. Comedy movies as well, particularly, they're just generally bad and not that funny. But this show has made me laugh wholly, fully, heavily and heartily. Okay then, I'll leave it there. There's your 3 for the week. If you do check any of them out, then feel free to let me know what you think about them and send some recommendations my way if you want to. You can do so on my socials, so Instagram, Twitter, I think I'm on, I can't remember what else. You can also send me an email to jackandthewash@gmail.com. In fact, you can send me any email you want. You can send me a dick pic if you want to. Don't do that, please. Right then, I'm off to fantasize about mince pies and Japanese whiskey. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.